Round
They didn't want to
3.
switch. DC Detective Comics, right? That's what that stands for. Batman Caped Crusader. Tell us, what is this about?
So
High level, no spoilers.
yeah, very high level. This is
10-minute spoiler free.
this is my
I'll go with the whole thing spoiler free.
This is my understanding of what this is really.
Okay.
Short and sweet.
Okay.
This is set in like, I don't know, 30s, 40s maybe. And Batman is grown, but I think he's kind of first starting out. He seems young because nobody really quite knows him yet. You know what I mean?
This is very much year one Batman.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. That's it?
I mean, yes, he gets introduced, they meet him or whatever, but that's kind of what this is all about.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off by just not what the Gambit say. You know how long I've been waiting for this?
Yeah.
I'm about to make about to make a name for myself here.
Yeah, you gotta do it better than that, though.
I'm not doing an accent.
You should.
No, I'm not. This
Hey.
no spoilers, right?
You know, this is the series.
This is the most boring waste of time that I've watched in a long, long time. Like, this is the most boring show that I've watched in a very, very long time.
What you got, Ray?
I love Batman.
He's like,
Obviously, I love Batman.
I like that. I like that font there too.
Yeah, thanks, appreciate it. A very strong, serious nod to the 1990s Batman Adventures. It should be, right? You got some of the same producers.
Batman Adventures, Batman Animated Series.
Batman Animated Series.
Batman Animated Series.
Well, there was both. There was Batman Animated Series and Batman Adventures. That was still part of the Batman Animated Series, but they've introduced Robin.
Right.
A young Robin, not Dick Grayson, but
Watch your mouth.
Tim Drake.
Watch your mouth. You already dropped the F-bomb.
you only get one.
So, yeah, I know, right? I was mad because Sean stole mine from the show earlier, so I had to drop it.
You had to let it out.
I had to let it out. The first episode was really, I hate saying this, it was a very much a slow watch, which is amazing to me because some of the producers and writers of this show are not only major Hollywood players that you got like Matt Reeves, you got J.J. Abrams, you have some of the best writers in the comic book industry, Ed Brubaker, oh my God, I'm forgetting the other one. And then you have Bruce Timm, whose style is very much there and presented in the entirety of the show. Having said all of that, this is a slow show.
This was hot. This was some hot garbage. To what you just said, I'm glad you just said what you said, because I think it leads more to the point that I was making earlier. We were talking about the directors and then the different director and a different writer. And I said, what did I say earlier about Borderlands? It wasn't going to matter. It was going to be trash regardless. This, if you're trying to recreate the feeling similar to X-Men 97, there's going to be a lot of X-Men 97 references in my review here. If you're trying to recreate what happened with the animated series, which is what it seemed like they were trying to do, it doesn't matter who you get to write it. It was going to be slow. It was going to be boring. It was not going to be great. It doesn't matter who you got, right? This goes back to when we were at the con. Now we can get unbiased Ann's take. We haven't talked about this, but at the con, what I was specifically telling people was that I liked X-Men better than Batman the Animated Series. And one of the big things that I didn't like about the animated series is that it was kind of slow and boring, and it didn't hit home with some of those messages, right? Other meanings, world meanings and stuff. I see this in X-Men 97 kind of being in that same clash, that same style, that same thing is happening. What do you say about this?
Okay. So I was excited for this really as soon as I saw J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves, because I know them for different reasons. I mean, I know J.J. Abrams obviously has done so much, but when I saw those two names, I was like, oh my God. Okay. But yeah, this was like, seemed like it was for children. I mean, this seemed like an Encyclopedia Brown detective series,
Detective Comics,
basic,
Made for children, but not for children.
So I guess my other question to you is, you also didn't like X-Men 97.
Yeah. polar opposite situation.
Which one did you like better?
I probably liked X-Men 97 better, but this one was easier to follow.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
because it was slow.
Yeah, it was slow. So my point with all that being said is, this is the same way I felt about X-Men and Batman, the Batman animated series back in the early 90s. And this is a perfect example. Like, it's almost carbon copy example of what's going on. One had way more action, way more going on. One had way more deeper, better overall
messages, like deeper.
Yes,
yeah.
Right?
The storytelling was deeper.
Yeah,
and then there was this other thing that was just basic and boring and slow. That's, again, I like the animated series. I watched it. I support it. But it was that to me. So that's what's happening. It's the same thing. And again, I don't like X-Men 97 for what it's worth.
I will say though, I didn't hate this. I mean, I wasn't like, oh my God, I can't take one more episode.
I fell asleep on this shit 4 times.
Yeah.
4 times.
Yeah, but that's you and your dislike for. I don't.
It's that I don't fall asleep on stuff. The last thing I fell asleep on was Wonder Woman 84.
I've not fallen asleep on a single episode of Batman Caped Crusader.
But
I'm not saying
you're the one sitting here with a Batman shirt and hat on. Of course, you're not going to fall asleep on it.
But even then, it doesn't mean that I cannot point out its flaws, because it does have its flaws, and it does feel like one big setup for season 2, and I'm really getting tired of that. Do a series as if you've only got 1 season to go.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. Do all of us a favor.
No. I feel like that's the problem. I feel like that's what they did. They did the X-Men 97 and crammed a bunch of random stuff in here instead of making one cohesive story. I had no idea what the whole thing was even about.
Well, that's my point about the Encyclopedia Brown. It seemed like every episode was like this little detective solving mystery, and we got it. Okay, done. And then
off to the next thing.
It's this very Star Trek Next Generation for me. It has that first season feel where
except TNG was good.
Where they're sitting there, I'm going to look at you for a little bit. Where they're sitting there, and you can see that they're trying to build, but it's very episodic. Yeah. And the main storyline is slightly running through the background.
Lightly, yes.
Which is, of course, in Batman Caped Crusader.
But it's not clear. It's not obvious.
Well, no, it is clear. It is clear because it's the whole thing of Harvey.
It's not clear, and we can't get into it because we're still in spoiler free. But and you just just said it.
I will say this. One thing I loved about this show was I like the animation style. Mm-hmm.
What animation style? There was nothing being animated.
Oh, well, maybe the
cheapest. It's just like freaking Scooby-Doo out there. It was just the cheapest shit.
Okay.
The freaking mouth moving and people moving like real player. And this was hot garbage.
What was he watching?
Maybe art style is the right word.
The art style.
I don't know.
I know what you're talking about.
Like
the animation was trash. That's
like Bruce Wayne.
Jesus Christ.
Like I don't know what it was about him. I loved the way he was drawn. Him and some other characters, I won't say. But
Bruce Timm, that's what that is. That is very much his designs.
So you like Scooby-Doo? You like the old school Scooby-Doo? Because this is what this looked like.
But this was my problem with the animation. It was inconsistent because I felt like some people, like I loved the way they were drawn, and some people I was like,
well, that's not animation. That's art style.
That's what I said. I said I think it's art style.
Right, but even art style was bad.
Okay, and the other thing that I loved. The other thing that I loved was the art style of the buildings. Like it was
Art Deco.
40s.
Yeah. It was so basic and lacking of anything.
I don't care. I loved it.
Lacking of personality, lacking of detail.
Like the way they had the TV. Like when there was a scene where they were in an apartment and it like the TV and the way the sofa looked and the way the bookshelves looked. Yeah. I don't know why. I loved that art style.
The art style they were going for was very specific.
Yeah, very specific.
Very 40s, 30s Art Deco style, which there is something to be said for that style because I'm like you. I do love that style. To your point, some of the art styles was inconsistent. If I'm sitting here looking at Alfred's drawing, sometimes, especially on his nose for whatever reason, they couldn't get the nose right.
They couldn't get anybody's nose right.
But then there are other times where it's
upside down question mark.
Yeah.
Then there's other times where it was done beautifully, and I don't know if that was intentional, because some of it did feel a little bit intentional, but I don't know the reason for it.
Yeah.
I would
think
like to know the reason
budget,
for why.
because there was one particular episode where there was some CGI effects where it's like, okay, they put more money into this episode,
Could be.
And then everything else was just garbage.
Could be.
I mean, just
Not the garbage part.
just the high level here for me, how I would explain this to people. Like, this is definitely the 30s, 40s detective crime drama with bad graphics, and it's.
I think I know what it is for you, though.
I'm telling you what it is, but I'm literally telling you what it is, and it's less about Batman. It's less. I'm not spoiling anything here, but it's less about Batman, and it's more about the inner workings and politics of
Gotham
a
City.
police precinct, specifically, not Gotham
the whole
as
city.
not necessarily Gotham as a whole, but I mean they sprinkle it in, but the police precinct itself and corruption,
which is that Matt Reeves style. That's where that Matt Reeves style is coming
boring. From. There's a specific reason why the crime shows, live action, the stuff that still comes on TV today that's been on for 20 years is on, and it's not because they're doing this. They're not doing this. They're like they say, we're ripping from the headlines. So something new happens and it sounds and it's crazy and and then that's what they put on TV. Nobody's doing TV shows like this anymore.
So let me say with this. Well, number one, this is very year one Batman. Number two, you can tell the influence from this is from the 1940s Batman introduction, and feel with 1937 actually, I believe. But it is drawing from that as if it was done in those days, which to me also represents that art style, very much the Fleischer art style that they did for Superman back in the day. And that's what we're seeing here. Is it today's art style? 100% not. No. I agree with that. It is not that. But is there something to be appreciated with the style that they've chosen to do? Yes.
No.
Are some of the episodes slower? No. Yes.
Or most of the episodes slower? Come on now.
But to sit there and have your negative intake, that is absolutely your drawing from your opinion. And again, overall, I don't feel this was the strongest iteration of Batman that we've seen on television by far. I don't. But I also don't think.
Let's keep that in mind, because I want to talk about that in the next segment.
But I also think though that this isn't bad. It's just it's not good.
It's bad. Like to me,
I think that's where your opinion really draws in.
No, it's not. It's not an opinion. I think that's where your bias comes in, because if it's not good, what is the next level right under good? Like, here's good, which I would just say is average. What's under good? Bad.
But you don't have. I'm telling you that it's not somewhere. It's if
it's not
good,
this.
If good is ground level and bad is 6 feet deep, I'm saying this is topsoil. It's like right here in between.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying anything under good has to be classified as bad.
Yeah. We've had this conversation. No. You're more black and white with the way you view it.
Racial.
You don't have shades of gray in your definitions. That's okay. I am not upset about that. I have come to actually appreciate you on that.
But what word would you use for something that's not good? Because I said bad and you said not good, and I'm looking at those things as one is right under.
Those are very. It's a conceptual idea that you have that it has to be bad if it's not good, and that's not
no. I said what word would you use?
Thank you. I think she just got it. It's mediocre.
It's mediocre.
So there's like good, mediocre, bad.
And what would happen if we looked up the real definition of mediocre?
We'd probably see the Dallas Cowboys.
What would happen if we looked up the definition of mediocre?
It's not going to say bad.
Would the word bad be somewhere in the definition?
No, it wouldn't be.
I wouldn't think so.
Let's find out.
All right, because we got to get to the next round.
Go ahead. So while I'm doing this, pop the next round.
No, that's not how this works.
No. There was something else I was going to say. Y'all just covered so much.
All it says is of moderate quality, not very good. There's no word definition here for bad.
Not very good.
But that doesn't mean bad.
No, you said it wasn't good. That definition says not very good, which to me...
Did you hear the word bad?
Very good would be above good.
Did you hear the word bad?
Did you hear the simple phrase of good? No, you didn't. You heard very good.
That's what it said.
So where is very good on your list then?
Very good according to the dictionary here.
No, where is very good on your list?
Very good on my list is
above good.
Is above good.
You said this was not good, so that's even worse than good.
Because it's mediocre. We just discussed that.
Mediocre said that it's not very good, which means it's just good.
Which doesn't mean it's not bad.
It means just good.
Okay, but here's some synonyms, okay, for mediocre.
Okay.
Go.
Passable.
It's not passable.
It is passable.
Fair.
It's not fair.
Medium.
It's
not
medium.
medium. It's not mid, as the kids would. It's not even mid.
Right. So so.
It's not so.
But the point is,
It's not bad.
Okay, but the point is, that's not.
Y'all are not listening to what I'm saying. What I'm asking you specifically.
I just told you. I
No,
can't. You want to say it in Spanish?
No, your
es
definition.
malo.
Your definition
Actually,
that you
that's sick.
read said it's not very good.
Yeah.
To me, very good is.
But that's not what you were arguing. You were just arguing, is it bad?
Let me finish the argument. Very good is above good. If it's not very good, doesn't that mean that it's just good?
Yes.
You said it wasn't even good.
But
That's
I am
what I'm
telling
saying.
you, it's not bad, which is what your original argument was. Play back the tape. You said, so it's bad. Because if it's good, you can only do bad.
You said it's not good.
That's right. I didn't say it was good, but that's a great definition of what she just gave. So, mediocre, medium. But it doesn't make it bad.
Your own definition to me is making it sound like it's
That wasn't even
bad.
very definition. We said the definitions. You're not listening to them.
No, you're not listening to them. Very good, good, bad.
Okay, but
Mediocre says it's not very good, which means it's good. You said it wasn't even good, which makes it bad.
It's so, which to me, and based off the definition, even though they're talking about cinnamons, I want some cinnamon.
synonym.
Cinnamon. What do you say? Eat my
You
cinnamon.
hungry. You
Cinnamon
hungry.
taste.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and say that it's bad because it's not bad. I am going to tell you it's not good. And it's certainly not very good. Okay, but that doesn't make it bad.
Well,
That you don't like that definition is on you.
No.
Yes.
No, it's not. It's not on me. Your biases is stopping you from saying
We
that this.
just read the definitions.
Your biases is stopping you from saying that this bad show was bad. That's all it is.
It's not a bias
That's
if I
all it
don't
is.
believe it's not bad.
You said it wasn't good. You didn't say you didn't believe it wasn't bad. You said it's not good.
I did say it was not good.
Okay, but regardless of what the definition of mediocre is, the point is there can be a good, mid, bad.
Mm-hmm.
There can be levels.
We're just adding words
if
now.
he's saying
It's not adding
hold on,
words.
if he's saying it's not this one, that says good, it's not that one. What's underneath?
Yeah, I'm gonna just make up another thing underneath so I don't have to say it's bad.
No,
Have you done a survey? Does it go immediately from awesome to good or bad? Or are there other phases in that survey that they ask you
I'm
for?
asking you what your other phases are. He said mediocre and you just went along with that. I'm asking you, I asked you what yours were and you had no answer.
I am telling you, it's between whatever survey that you want to put it on. It's between good and bad, which means it's not good, but it's not bad either. It's whatever that middle line is.
Okay.
It's if 1 is bad, if 5 is good.
Well,
I would consider it a 3.
Well, where is worst? Where is trash?
Why does it have to be a worse or trash? It's just bad.
So what survey have you looked at that bad is the lowest level?
I can promise you I've never seen a survey that has said trash, good, awesome, and only those 3.
Awful? Awful is worse than bad.
Sure, but I'm
Okay.
telling you, I've never seen trash.
You get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying, but do
Awful.
you understand where we're coming
Nope,
from?
I do not. It does not compute. I'm sorry.
That one becomes your opinion.
Nope.
Sure it does.
doesn't. Let's go to the next round. Let's get, well, it's not the next round, but let's get to the spoilers.
Spoilers.